I am genuinely surprised. I'm genuinely surprised, sir. Hey, man. Hey, we back up in this thing. And again, because what's so dope about this pool, seriously, what's so dope about this is like, I was just talking to Trent about you the other day. I was mentioning, what were we talking? Well, no, you were saying something about like how there was something cool on Pool's channel or something like that, or he was telling you how to. I forget exactly what the reference was to Pool that we had, but it was like the other day, and I was just like, so it's nice to see that he's here now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We were talking about on the day drunk one. We were talking about fucking being wasted, and I put a bunch of pictures of this motherfucker and me just chugging bottles of Jagermeister. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Oh yeah. And then it kind of like got to a point where you were talking about how now that's why like that you can't handle Jagermeister like how you once could or whatever. And it's like those days. Those days, man. Those days are over.
But then again, man, I did 4 shots to fuck Honey Jack on Canada Day, and I was absolutely blackout drunk by the end of it. Like, it was a rough night.
Oh, one of them ones. I feel
Dude, and I had an 11-hour shift the next day. So self-inflicted, but oh my God.
No, sir. No, sir. We will not do this. We will not do this.
You were like that today.
Yeah. Last night was a $150 bar tab. Fucking Christ.
Oh, my goodness. You guys, so basically what you're saying is you guys were living it up.
We learned that sometimes you just have to buy people drinks.
Fair enough. Sometimes
hey, man, but that's what it is. Take it out. It's all about the best. It's all about the celebration.
Oh, my God. Yeah. It ain't Phil's anymore, eh? Jesus.
God, fucking not. If I spent $150 at Phil's, I would be dead.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh my goodness.
That is matter of facts.
Reasonable drinks and shit.
Well, just
$225 for a beer, $250 for a shot.
$375 for like a higher end shot. Yeah. You go there with a 20 and just get wrecked.
Yeah.
That's still there for fuck's sakes.
That's a college kid's dream, though. No,
probably gonna happen. That was the one right across the street from Laurier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Straight up, bro. Like with the little it used to be a fucking like it used to be like a haven for all the ladies and shit. Like everybody used to be there, bro. Like at least a lot of first year. Getting in there, sneaking in, tripping and shit.
Oh yeah. We saw a lot of them. We saw a lot of them try to sneak in.
Yeah, fake IDs and shit.
Yeah.
They're wise with it now. And I was talking to the one of my coworkers. She said that she got banned for life from there just for over some trivia shit. And they scan IDs now. So like she's fucked.
So they know that you never, See, when we were there the first and second year, they weren't scanning IDs yet. That started later on.
For better or for worse, I guess, on that one. For the public safety, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, we were
but then Dave was there. So like it didn't matter. That fucking monster, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That guy, I literally you were standing next to me. We were in the middle, we were watching, like, you know how like it's situated. There's like the dance floor, and then there's like that little raised area where there's seating. We were literally standing over there just watching people like dance and stuff. These guys started to fight in the middle of the dance floor, and Dave came running in and just clocked the one dude right across the jaw and knocked him out cold with one punch. They just dragged his ass out of there. It was so fucking crazy.
See, that's
so body being dragged up the stairs.
That's so wild about places like Phil's, though, man. Because like the floor was like it was like a swamp of spilled drinks, throw up and stuff. And like you go there dressed nice, and then next thing you know, by the end of the night, your shoes are all sticky, your shirt's all sweaty. There's random like lipstick on your collar, and you're like, who was kissing me? Like, what the hell's going on? No, seriously, you fuck around and just be making out with random chicks from like we'd be in King's Quarter or whatever, and they'd be in like some on campus fucking res and shit. And I'm just saying, this is my little random experiences at Phil's. You know?
Yeah.
We learned. Well, we
had Phil's shoes.
Yeah, we learned early on because we had people friends of ours who were like our age had been there already a year before us. They had already experienced all this and gone through all the trial and errors. So they were like, don't wear a good pair of shoes to Phil's, and anything that hits the ground is just leave it. Just leave it. Unless it's like your ID or something.
Yeah. He said just leave it.
Dude, bro, tell me we're wrong. Like that shit is ruthless. That is an abomination.
It's just
That's
a void.
what-
It's gone. Just let it go.
Motherfucker said, as soon as it hits the ground,
Don't need
it's
it.
gone. It's the abyss, bro. You said it like it's like it's as soon as it hits the ground, black hole. Just don't even try to reach for it.
Just
You'll get
phases out of
sucked in.
existence.
You'll get sucked in. Yo, could you imagine like if on like one of those shows like Black Mirror or some shit like that, like it was like that where like literally like you step on some shit like a floor where it's like your foot gets like stuck like on some quicksand type shit, then it starts to pull you under and you're like, oh my gosh, girl, that'd be some crazy shit. But it's like that's the type of nonsense I think of, like where my brain goes when I think of like somebody saying something like that, like, yo man, if this happens, just leave it.
Pull you down.
Yeah, like it's like some like mysterious hand is gonna grab whatever you dropped and just you'll never get it again type shit. Like that's some sick shit.
Oh, so there was one night I was there, obviously.
There were a few nights.
Yeah,
that we
well,
were
just
there.
maybe one or two. There was I was walking past, this girl was wearing white like booty shorts, like really short, and
Oh,
she
man.
fucking fell off the stage and landed ass first
Oh, no.
on the ground.
Oh, see?
She's gone.
Yeah, she's gone.
shorts are gone for sure.
He said
No, she
she's
hit the
gone.
ground. She's gone.
She's gone. She's gone, bro.
Lost cause. Done.
She just disintegrates it like on
Forget
like
about her.
some like Avengers Endgame shit. She just turns into dust. Yo, that's the type of shit, bro. I'm telling you. As soon as you hit the ground, gone.
Oh
Yo,
man, that fucking
Bill,
place.
That's
fucking
the rule.
Phil.
Once it hits the ground.
But now we've got a place up here that's not like that, but like it's
Good
cleaner.
times, it's chill.
It's cleaner.
for the most
There's
part.
like little, there's
Cleaner,
like
but more
little.
expensive.
Yes.
Sorry, you
fucking
said
everywhere is more expensive booze wise.
Facts.
Yeah, man. But that's the thing that's one thing I noticed, like seriously, man, as soon as you get like past like 23, 24, everything, like, you just understand everything is just expensive as shit. Like you start living by yourself, whatever cases, rent, whatever. And you're thinking to yourself, yo, I'm putting out so much money. This is craziness. But when you're in college and shit and you got that little extra money, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I was a savage in the sense of I would be spending my grocery money on like whether it's herbs or alcohol or whatever. I'm out here tripping. But it's supposed to be for groceries, but I'm tripping. Like, it's all right. I'll survive out this field.
I
Survive
still
out the
do
meal
that.
cards.
I still do that. I
So there you
still
go.
spend money I should spend on food at the grocery store on booze or weed. Like,
Hey, bro, enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself, bro. That's the point. That's the point. Straight up.
gotta go somewhere.
Yeah, pretty much. Mostly just booze these days.
Yeah.
Well, fuck, dude. Working at the weed store, I've got like 4 different strains I'm looking at over here just because it was like, oh, I'll get that. Oh, I'll get that. Oh, I'll get that. It's just like, you need to stop. Man, and like, I need to smoke through what I got here first. How about that?
Well, that's like
Yeah,
working,
man.
working at Diamond. Since I started working there, like in the first 2 months, I was given like 4 new vape mods.
Oh,
And
Jesus.
it's like shit. Now I have to,
They're
if I
really
wanna
wanting
keep
you to smoke.
If I want to keep using these, I have to keep buying all the different coils and shit for them because they all take different fucking shit, right?
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh man, I can't afford that. So they're like all sitting in my closet, and I use maybe 2 of them regularly.
Jesus Christ. Like, well, that's the thing. Like, I don't know about you, but like with us, we kind of got to have to like either sample the product or hear a fucking review from somebody. That's the only way we can be like, yeah, this is good, this will do this is what we need.
This is something that I missed from the industry. In the early days up at Diamond, you used to be able to you used to be able to sample all the flavors. They had little vapes with all the flavors in it and disposable mouthpieces.
Oh,
so that you could try each of the flavors with no nicotine. They wouldn't put
just be the juice
with the nicotine in it, just be the flavor. And you could literally test them and figure out which one you want it.
Exactly.
But you can't fucking do that anymore.
Yeah, we could never do that at the weed store.
Like you can't even vape in.
Do you know where I wish they'd do that?
Our
Sam?
vape lounge.
Do you know what I would? Do you know where I wish they'd fucking do that? Idea is at the liquor store. Like before I buy a
Can I do a shot?
Before I buy a fucking bottle, before I buy a case, this kind of like just have a little fucking like 1, 2, 1, 2. Like I like that. I can see myself drinking that.
Just go around, test all
catch
the
a
free
quick
samples,
swig.
get
that's
sloshed, and leave.
There's a way you can police that though. It's super easy.
But see, that's the thing, gentlemen. I think they'd call it some type of thing like a swift swig. And just some type of shit where you can just get a swift swig of the motherfucking, because it's like you think about it. You can go into, but it's almost like when you go into those nice fancy bakeries and they have the little tiny pieces of, whether it's like croissants or little pieces of like, I mean, you got to be able to do that, or like those little chocolate fondues. No, that's actually super smart. You can get away. Hey, because yes, of course, somebody might have a low tolerance, so they can get away with sampling multiple, and then next thing you know, they have a low buzz. But you know what I mean? Like, I could see some people trying to do that. Like, sir, this is your 17th one you've sampled. It's like basically a 7th shot. Like, oh shit.
So like I said, there's a way to police that.
Yeah.
Like you have to like okay, you've had like a limit of like 3 or 4 or whatever, something like that.
You gotta pick one of these.
Yeah.
You've hit your number of free trials in a day.
But see, that's the thing. Literally that, Paul. You have to cut off you have to hit them with the expiry on the trial.
Yeah, you're out of coupons. Please come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Pretty much. That's like yeah, not in this country.
You gotta think about it too.
Isn't it great when you're fucking stoned in public and you cough and everybody's like,
no, bro, immediately, cool. You know what's crazy? Immediately, I know it sounds crazy, but like, cause I work, I be doing like transportation and cleaning and shit like that at hospitals and shit like that, right? Bro, it's just crazy because out in public, if I do that same cough that you just said, I'll be like, oh, it's weed. Right?
It's weed.
People don't know. People don't know that you motherfucking like that's your high as a giraffe. They don't know that shit. They're thinking in their mind, oh shit, this guy, he's got COVID and he's not wearing a mask. But no, I just finished smoking a joint. That's why I'm not wearing a mask. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm
like,
fucking ripped.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's funny. It is funny. It is very funny.
I'm just in the grocery store getting munchies. Like, leave me alone.
There was a time. It was like, I think it was like March or like April last year when things were just like still like sketchy.
Yeah.
Well, fuck, they're still sketchy. They're sketchy all the time. But anyways, my mom and I were standing in line, and she's a smoker, and I was high as shit, and we both started coughing. The fucking people just cleared away from us.
Oh, but that's what it turns into, man. Don't let it be Don't let it be over 3. Don't let it be over 3 coughs, Trent. You definitely will have a problem on your hand. Like once you go,
you get one good one in public.
One
good cough.
No, that's the thing. This comedian, I forget which one it was. One of these younger guys, but he's like, you get one good cough and the throat clear. After that, just chill, because like, but then that's when, like, if you ever seen that meme where that it's like that one white kid with all the veins on his head, and then like he'll say something above his head or whatever, like one blah blah blah's happening. That's what you look like.
Hold it in.
Yeah, like that's what you look like when you try to hold that in after you fucking. That's literally what you look like, and it sucks because you don't want to be like looking crazy, coughing 10, 15 times, because bro, you look like, well, as you know, Trent, obviously now you're in a dispensary. Some of this weed, bro, like I've been smoking about since I was maybe 14, 15, savage as it is. I know that's young to the listeners, but yo, it is what it is. And you fuck around and get to the point where this weed nowadays makes you cough. I'm still coughing like I was 15, 16, bro. That's how you know it's a good ass herb. But then it sucks in public though, because then you look crazy.
Sure does.
This guy coughed over 4 times, and like it's something you're covering your mouth, you're using the elbow, you're doing all that shit, but it's just the coughs are still coming. And you're like, you have water, but at the same time, you're thinking to yourself, why am I going to stop? This is the point. I'm supposed to be high as shit coughing. Like, that's the whole point. Why am I going to stop myself? Even though technically in today's society, everyone wants you to stop yourself from coughing and shit. Fuck it, man. That's why I like it. It's funny though.
All of a sudden, a fucking black sedan pulls up and pulls you off the sidewalk.
Cough.
Black bag.
You exceeded your daily limit of coughs in public.
That's outrageous.
Mandatory COVID test.
Take them away.
See, but Pool, you're on the same wavelength as me, man. You understand, like, hey, this shit can happen. Just like at Phil's, the ground pulling you under.
Yeah.
You can be walking. You're tripping. You can be just walking down the street. You cough 3 times, and dudes who come out and they got, you know how scary it would be, Pool? Dudes, they don't got no faces, just eyes. They don't got no like faces. That's how scary it'd be. Just 2 big dudes with no faces, and they'll come and take you off the sidewalk. That's how
like one of those big shepherd hooks.
Yeah, man. No, because that's what it is. That's what we are in a cartoon, an animated cartoon friggin'. It feels weird, man. It feels like, you know, like Space Jam, like that cartoon real life mix. Like obviously it was a movie, but I'm saying like just as an example, man. Like that's that stuff.
Like,
I feel
what
like
was it, Waking Life?
Oh yeah, that was rotoscoped.
Yeah.
Scanner darkly too.
Yeah.
Well,
no, we're in it's Earth, the sitcom. We're literally
Idiocracy.
Aliens are just watching. They're just like, we're just a television show to them.
Show
That's
me
what
what
it
you
turns into.
got.
Bro, but that's what it turns into, man. Like, I mean, if you want to genuinely look at it from that standpoint, like, I know we're making jokes, but it's like, realistically, yes, there's got to be a situation that, like, we are quote unquote like ant size in the grand scheme, even smaller than that, maybe a speck of dust in the grand scheme of things, right? And you think to yourself, so one person can have so much power on this specific planet or whatever. And you're thinking to yourself, yo, that person probably thinks that they're like literally thinks that they're king shit or whatever. But it's like, there's
got to be something bigger.
Some large being.
There's always a bigger fish.
Like, you ever see those movies like Prometheus and shit like that? Those damn near extraterrestrial type. But I mean, that's a different story. I'm just saying as an example. There could be some wild stuff like, bro, yeah, the movies trip me out, gross me out and stuff like that.
The funny thing that I think about with like aliens, like especially in Hollywood today with the movies, right? Like they always depict the aliens as being super aggressive and just want to take over, wipe everything out, right? And I feel like that's because we're imposing an inherent human trait onto what we think aliens would act like.
Projecting. Yeah.
When actually, I don't remember the study or whatever, but it has to do with civilizations progressing through the different stages and getting to different points with technology and that sort of thing.
And evolution and whatnot.
Yeah. And fourth dimensional beings, third dimensional beings, like that kind of thing. And in order to advance to a point in your civilization where you can actually explore the cosmos, you would have never had time to be fucking fighting amongst yourselves. There would have never been violence or excessive wars or anything like that, because all the money and brain power, or maybe not even money, right? Like that's an earth thing. We don't know
currency or whatever the hell they function.
But the time was put towards working together to better the entire civilization, and that's what advanced them to the point where they can travel.
That's what's so beautiful about it, Paul. Because if you even think about it on a smaller scale, look at ants. How ants or bees, how they work together to accomplish like a common goal, and it's like it's like so synchronized to the point where it's like they've
got their shit together better than we do,
which is crazy to think about it, because they don't have all the extra stuff. Like they don't have money, fashion, all that other stuff to distract them, so to speak, from the quote unquote ultimate goal. They just know, yo, we got to go get this pollen, we got to produce this honey, and we got to repetitively do that. Now, what sucks is we got to the point of being all cerebral and shit. So now it's like we have, I'm a fancy painter, I'm an artist and all that other shit, in the sense of going to the extreme of like, not even like, for example, some people won't even care to better themselves in the sense of, because they're so focused on their work. You might hear a lot of people, yo, man, help me not getting some rest. My work, bro, I got to get my work. But so we're going to get distracted by all these different things. Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to get to that convergence so that we can travel intergalactic, like to different places, travel at light speeds, and
we're too busy killing each other.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's why it sucks that
pretty much.
It truly sucks that we got to that point of like distraction, so to speak, and like just being totally away from. But then it sucks because then you think to yourself, okay, we were all designed, like, for example, like every human, more or less, 2 eyes, two, whatever, like we're all more or less the same, right? You think to yourself, okay, but then some are produced with certain differences or whatever, where you're thinking to yourself, okay, we might not all be able to be on the same wavelength or the same frequency, or however you want to look at it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yes, you see in whether it's different businesses or whatever, you see big groups of people come together to accomplish great things, whether it's pyramids, whatever. But I'm saying, which actually even that's fucking amazing. But I say all that to say, like, there's so many different people, like there's so many different factors and things that cause us to be different while being the same. That makes me think, like, I don't even know if that was the plan, as far as us starting off with a goal of achieving just one thing. Like, if, let's just say, space travel was the quote unquote example, where that's what throws me off about this whole quote unquote life experience simulation, however you want to look at it, because there's certain moments
we latched on to one of the distractions.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It all became about greed. That's the distraction we got stuck on, and now everybody just wants to have the most money or whatever power they can, and they don't give a fuck who they step on in between.
And that's why it sucks, because then people who are empathetic to others, it sucks because there are people who genuinely need assistance, and then there's other people who are manipulative and want to just try to like scheme and stuff. So there's just all those.
Think of all those kids or whatever that are maybe a little bit more underprivileged, that would never get the chance to go to college or university or whatever, and those kids could have been the next person to put us onto Mars or cure cancer or whatever, right? They just never got that chance to flourish because of stupid bullshit in the class system and all that nonsense.
100%. But it makes you wonder. But then that's what could make you wonder about in the sense of the whole purpose of it all. Because in truth, I believe that we all have purposes, not in the sense of like being born and just being like, oh, I'm gonna change the world, but maybe your purpose was to come be the dopest friggin' father ever to 3 children. And then one of those children, after you pass, you don't even know that they're going to be one of the children who cures cancers. You don't even know that shit. They don't do it in your lifetime or whatever. Or you might be the grandfather to the person who, you know what I mean? Like, even if it's not some wildly miraculous thing, but I'm just saying you might be the person to the grandfather to the person who makes it where if somebody's head ever got cut off, they can reattach the head and the person can still live if it's under a certain time, or just some wild surgery that just never happened before. But Matt, they're the ones who advance. Shit could happen, bro, is all I'm saying. But to your point, if they're not given that chance, that's when it sucks, because it's like you're basically clipping the wings before they even get to leave the nest, right? Yeah.
And then we get stuck in that cycle of just the big businesses getting bigger and bigger and more. Like, who is it? Who's on track to be one of the first trillionaires? Is that Bezos?
I think so. One of him. Oh, wow.
Either him or Musk.
One billionaire or another.
Nobody should ever have that much money. There's no need for that.
Oh, you're right. In the sense of like excess and hoarding, you're 100% right. But see, at the same time, Pool, what sucks is we adapted this capitalist system and said we are not going to ever look back. So once that happened, it wasn't a matter of bartering my 2 loaves of bread for your 3 fish. It was a matter of, I'm coming to take or try to finesse your 3 fish for a few little crumbs of my bread, and all that nonsense where it's a sense of like the supply and demand, what something's worth versus what you think, like your value on it versus what I think is worth, and then all that other BS comes in. So then it's like, I'm gonna just go greed mode and just try to obtain, because then that's what they say, right? It's like as soon as you start working and all that, you want to be rich, you want to blah blah blah, bro. Like, they've been pushing people that lifestyle since like the friggin' whenever. But as far as society, like the 30s probably, for like 20s or 30s probably, early, like in that aspect of like
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And here's
Like
the
with
kicker:
the
you
fancy
can't take
cars
any
and all
of
that.
it with you.
Well, yo, with that being said, oh no, it's because yo.
Oh no, the battery's dying.
Oh no!
No. Oh
No.
oh no, this happened. This is the first time this has happened, unfortunately.
No, I'm sorry. No.
Oh no!
Oh, the audio track. Oh, the technical woes.
Rip the
Yo.
audio track.
But yo, I was gonna say, gentlemen, we're gonna have to end this bad boy because I'm not trying to have it where we can't record, where it doesn't save the recording. But yo,
Yeah.
but yo, man, all I'm saying is, as far as money goes, yo, we gotta use the tool as we see fit. But it sucks as we're on this kind of singular. What do you call it? Single person. What is it like? What's the like the game? Single person. First person
shooter?
whatever. Like, well, maybe not necessarily shooter, but that type of view, like where you're controlling the person and you're the one who you go into the store and you buy the thing as the person. You're you, right? So it's like you got to enjoy that shit because yes, you can go out of your way to try to hoard money in that, but I don't want to chase money, man, and just lead a stressful life because I'm constantly worrying about the next dollar and stuff versus
I want
making
experiences.
that's what it turns into, bro. That's what it turns into.
Clearly.
Yeah.
So to the people listening, let's experiences. Let's try to get some more experiences out here. You know what I mean? Like, because at the end of the day, like, again, you can hustle, work 12-hour days till you're blue in the face, but all that you're gonna realize is unfortunately your time's going by. And it's like, yes, you have money, but or you might not even have money because you might mess around and, but it's like you didn't necessarily want to hang out with friends ever, or you didn't necessarily want to see your family ever, or whatever the case is, because you always wanted to work to get that dollar, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't have that be the motivator. Yeah, you got to live a little.
Really?
But that's the way I'm looking at this whole life thing too, gentlemen. That's the way I'm looking at this whole life thing. You got to live a little, basically. So as soon as I wake up, my eyes open. Oh shit! I got another day. I'm grateful for this, bitch. Wake up and get some herbs in my system and get it going. You know what I mean?
Amen. Amen. That's how I've been going for like the last fucking, I don't know, 10 years now. Like,
how's it gonna be?
But like you said, like you can't take it with you, and like it's better to spend it on experiences. You won't remember that $100, but you'll remember of what you spent it on, basically that event, that whatever it is, like the bowl that you're smoking right now or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? Like, and like you said, you wake up and it's on my wall. Nothing's over till you're underground, and every day above ground's a good day. So that's how we have to roll with that.
That's what it is, man. Especially if you're in a conscious mind, like you're not in a coma, you're not, you know what I mean? Like you're able-bodied, you can walk around and shit, you can talk, bro. That right there, that type of scenario, just understand that one is blessed. Like, even if you might have a little aches and pains, but if you're actually like physically able to do, like, we got to understand, like we out here, like we're so fortunate in that regard. And it's not about saying that if someone does have a disability or they're handicapped in any way, that they're not having a full life. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is, granted, if you were able to at least experience a certain situation, don't take it for granted. Is simply what I'm saying. You know, you can't take that shit for granted.
It'd be gone in an instant.
Amen. It's
fuck.
It really could be.
Cool. Hey, it's always a pleasure, man. Like, if you can,
you, man.
make this a little bit more of a reoccurring thing, if you can, if you have it in you.
Yeah, I just fucking live down the road.
He does.
Hey, bro. No, but that's what it turns into, because you know what I mean. I appreciate this little addition, this little surprise addition. Like, you know what I mean. I appreciate it. You know what I mean. And Trent, you already know how it goes, bro. Always a pleasure, man. You already know how it goes. So to the people listening, my name's Graham.
I'm Trent.
Alex.
And this is another episode, man. Take care, guys.
You too, brother.
Cheers.
Double O, when you double O in the cup.